Alright folks, here we go. We're going to start this video off. It's Tony Two Shoes and my brother Don, and we're going to be putting the electric air conditioning in on the front side of this Ferrari 328. And in a nutshell, I'll post online the specifics of the units we're using. There's one that's bigger that does 6,000 BTUs. This one does right at 3,000. But in any rate, I'm going to go to the front of the car. We've opened up the bonnet on the front of the car. We've removed the spare tire, which is a full-size spare tire. Again, this is an 88.5 Ferrari 328, which has the York compressor located in the back. And it does a pretty good job, but this electric, we believe, will be better. So we've removed, as you can see, we've taken out the big spare tire. If we get down a little closer, I want to point out this is the battery box, this whole piece right here. So this screw over here and this one down here are what we're going to mount a piece of metal to. Solid bracket that'll run this way. We'll also tee the bracket off, bend it up this way, or we'll bend it up on one of the ends. Looks like right now the plan is to mount the compressor. That's the compressor right there. Right here in the center on a piece of metal, pretty much like that. We'll center it up. And then once the compressor is mounted on a separate piece of metal, we'll bend that end. We'll put the controller right here. Now by doing it this way, we've already pointed our hoses in the direction they need to go, which is that way. Over there, the hoses are going. We've already got our battery cable right here, right next to the battery, which is right under this box. And we've got our compressor controller cables ready to plug right in here. So the only thing I really have to do is to run the hose, two hoses off of here, to the dryer and to the condenser. So that's the initial plan. Then we're just simply going to run a direct switch. We're going to cut right through here. We'll come into the interior of the cabin. And the beauty of this is we haven't figured out where yet. If any of you guys got a better idea, let me know. But right up underneath here, we're going to put an off-on switch. Bottom line is when I click that switch on, the AC comes on. Everything here starts running off of 12 volts. So here we are with the initial start. Again, here's the battery cover right here. The two screws on each side of the battery cover that we're going to bolt the thicker piece of metal to that'll mount the compressor and the controller. And look how simple it is. We just run a couple of lines, boom, boom, and the dryers right here. The lines did are right up under my arm. So we'll pick the video up as we make some more progress. But as you can see, there's the electronics of what we're going for. And well, hey, we started a day late, but not a dollar short. So I'll let you guys know out there how this thing goes. And you know, I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't expect to ever change a tire on this. Not in today's age. I'm calling somebody to come get me while I sit there in the air conditioning. See, that's the idea. While we're broke down, we're going to be cold. Anyway, this is the very first video that I promised. We'll continue to go with some more videos as we make some progress. We're going to head up and buy the metal, do the brackets and so forth. Alright, so we just went up and got some skid plate, which is right here, and we're going to bend it. So you're getting ready to put the bend on it. Pretty simple stuff. Got it marked off. So crap. So we'll wind up bending this plate so it's in an L shape. And from there the plate will go in and cover the the battery box, basically, with the L side up for the controller mount. Alright, for now we're out. Gotta go to the VA, see my doctor, but when I get back, we'll pick it up. Tony Two Shoes, out. Alright, so we're doing the video again, and as you can see, my brother is very quick. I got back from the VA, seeing the doctor, and here we go. You can see the mounting. The controller is mounted on the L shape, far side. The compressor with its rubber bushings and so forth is mounted direct to the plate, and then those plates are mounted directly into the battery holder. Battery holder. You can see down in there, there's the screw on that side, and there's the screw on that side. So now if you back it up, there it is. It's all the room it takes. We got a full electric air conditioner. Now the next step is we're going to hook up the power cables to the battery, which is right here. That's super simple. We're going to hook these up, plug and play right to the compressor. Super simple. Alright, so we're back at it. Day 2. Well, day 1, second half actually. And as you can see, we're getting ready to figure out the hoses. So we took off the inner piece here, 6 little screws holding on. There it is right there on the floor. And you can see where the AC hoses come in. And we're going to connect up here. This one connect up there. Kind of nice. It's only going to be 3 feet from here to there. So that's a nice little short circular hose so that we still have access to the battery box when we open it up. Or we can open it up without the hose getting tight. And then the other hose just runs straight across. We're going to poke a hole somewhere over in there. Drop that hose into the evaporator. So right now we're trying to get the correct measurements for the fittings, and we're doing it by hand. I've seen a bunch of stuff online, but we're going to get it right here. And we'll tell you guys what it will be. Looks like we're going to probably have to put a 90 right up here so we can connect right there in order to run it all the way around back over to here. It'll be a 3-foot hose. And then we have still to measure this one that'll run over there, but it probably won't be more than 4 foot. I'm guessing 4.5 feet maybe. And then of course the electric, that's the battery, which is right underneath there. Easy peasy. The other cables down there for the compressor. And then of course these are your condensers, or evaporator. And then you're off on, and then how you set the rotations with the compressor with that one. Alright, well, I'll update you when we get a little further along. Looks like Napa is one place you can go to that may do your hoses for you. We'll see. So far, that's the only place I found that offers that service, unless you have a little automotive AC shop you can go to. So here we're taking off our homemade replacement for the piece of metal that Ferrari originally installed in behind this for the, what is that, in the fender well to allow airflow for the condenser, but unfortunately it didn't allow much. So we followed some of the Ferrari chat guys and put a screen in there to allow for greater airflow. You can see it up in there now. So we're taking the screen out, or my brother is, so he can access the compressor. And that way we're going to then start pulling check the hoses for fittings, start pulling measurements from the condenser here back to from in there, which basically equates into right over in here. So we're going to go from right there to right under the towel here where the condenser lies. And you can kind of see how the screen fits up back in there and allows for it to have airflow. All right, so pick it up when we make more progress. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to run this hose looped out and around and then just under the cowl here and make a connection to the 90 right here. We're then going to take this one, similarly run him out around the loop there, and there's already a hole right at the bottom of your spare tire well, as you can see right there. Perfect. Run the hose out that, over and around, it's 50 inches. The hose that zips around this way to up here is 36 inches. You're going to need a 90 bracket down on the condenser to run up to this one, and you're going to need a 90 bracket right here to run around to this one. And then a Schrader valve. Where's the Schrader going to go? Right here? Okay, so in order to recharge it, talk about easy, put the Schrader valve right here. All you do is lift up the bonnet and get your fittings all set up, and you run your AC recharge will be right here, easily accessible. Hopefully we won't need it, but if we do, hey, no biggie, put the recharge on it. I know. You know me, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so that's the plan for the moment. So we found out there's a little piece of metal that for the spare tire holder. Okay, it holds the spare tire down, and it slides right back and forth in here. Well, right on the underside of there's a little metal piece. It's just a little metal lip. And my brother Don here, he just bent the lip up. We slid this little slide piece. We slid it out. We don't have a spare tire anymore. We really don't need this because we have the bolt downs on each side. So having said that, we're going to see if we can't run the power directly down through here. You'll see the two battery terminals are here and here, and we don't think we'll have to extend them at all. So here we go, let you know. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony again here, Tony Two Shoes, and we're doing the AC electric install on the Ferrari 328 right behind me. So some updates for you. We just got some hoses in, and here they are. I'm going to show them to you here. We had to get a fitting on this end for one hose, fitting on this end for the other, but basically those two hoses will connect there and there. That one's zipping right on up over to here, and that one's zipping right out the end down there around to the condenser. Now, as you know, we've been struggling with trying to find a place to cut to the inside of the card. Well, here it is. It was here all along. Little hole right there up under the car. Put my finger on it right there. It's behind that tape. Well, that has this wire right here. It's a little sensor. It comes all the way out here. Well, that runs all the way to the inside of the car, which will allow us to run a toggle switch directly off of this. And guess where it's going to go? It's going to go into a really cool spot. So it actually comes right out. That little hole right there will come out and will allow us to put a little toggle switch right in this little spot right up under the corner here. You look right here from my finger right up under here. It's like a little open hole. You can put your wallet or little knickknacks in there. We're going to put a toggle switch in there, face it down, and boom. Turn it on when you want to get cold. So you can see coming in this way again, that hole, if you look at the top looking down, you can see the hole is right here. Look at that wire. The hole is right here, right where my finger is. There's a little hole right there. Right there. It's already made by Ferrari, or the hole was already pre-cut by the company. So boom, you just go down that one. It takes you right to the interior cabin. And we're going to drop an off-on switch. So I don't have to wire into any of the existing wiring on the car. I'll have a direct wire, off-on, boom, good to go. So here we go. We'll get to this tomorrow. We had enough for one day. But again, the hoses came in right here. As you can see, we have a 36-inch hose. Has a straight on one end, 90 on the other. And on the straight side, we've got the access port, and then you have a 52-inch hose, straight on one end, 90 on the other. And I'll catch you up with how it's going to go. Pretty excited about how this thing's coming together. And yeah, there's been some really good stuff out there about will this give enough cooling BTUs to make it work. We'll see. If not, the irony is the exact same size compressor it can be bought for the same amount of money and will put out double the BTUs. The only problem I had with that was it was a 55 amp draw, and I would rather start low, work my way up if necessary, than start too high and fry stuff on the car. All right, peace out. Catch you on the next time. Tony Two Shoes. Okay, so we're here for, well, kind of the final step. Putting in the final hose that we just got back from having it refitted. And, well, here, let's take a look. So we're putting that 90 degree, oh shit. Yeah, the 90 degree in that far corner down there, as you can see. And that hose will come around, can connect up right down here. The other hose is already hooked going up to the, where's that one go? Oh, that goes to the condenser. And this little guy is going to the compressor. And that'll do it. Then it's just a matter of hooking up the power lines and charging it, or evacuating it, then charging it, and then we'll come back and show you what we got. So, alright, so there's that one right there, up in there, on that bracket. And now, this one should work. This one here will come in here, and we'll have completed the, yeah, that should do it. Slides right in there. Oh, okay. That's cool. So there it is. Got that hose there. That hose running down to the condenser. We left the evaporator and the fans all in place. Ran 2 separate wires up under here, over to the side here. One will turn on the evaporator fan, cooling fan, and that other one will turn on the whole system. So, there it is, ladies and germs. I'll get back to you when we're ready to charge it. How about that? Okay, so we're charging, or what are we doing? We're pumping the, we're evacuating. Well, shit, we gotta get out of here. If we're evacuating, that's what we're doing, we're evacuating. Apparently evacuating means put one of them little jigger makers on the car, and that the jigger will evacuate any of the leftover moisture, boogers, unwanted girlfriends. It evacuates all that stuff out of the car. And once it's like cleaned out, then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to put the juice to it, the R134A. So we'll pick it back up then. Alright, ladies and germs, a benefit that we just discovered as the installation progress goes is that, check this out, we're running a hot wire right there out of that little hole down there from the battery to the ground wire right there. It's in the black. And the benefit offshoot of this, if you ever need to drop a trickle charger on your battery, you just can trickle charge straight to this to charge your battery rather than take the battery panel off. So yeah, a little benefit from that. You get a battery access point without having to remove the panel. At any rate, as you can see, we've clamped on here and here to the evacuation pump that's pulling out any moisture residue, leftover stuff off the system, so we can get a fresh, clean charge. And also my brother has gone ahead and put his voltmeter down here. According to the directions on this compressor, once we turn it on, we're supposed to take this little twisty guy right there, and you're supposed to adjust that to where your meter right here is reading 3,600 rounds per minute, I think it is. RPMs. So, quick update. Yeah, you got an access point to your battery as a benefit of installing this. How about that? Little bungee cord, or bungee cord, zip tying. Yeah, bungee cord. Zip tying, the wire's nice and tidy. Watching this little red light blinkety blink on, even though the power's not turned on. I don't know how it's doing that. Well, we've got it connected. That's how it's doing that. Yeah, power's to the controller, and we got a blinkety blink. But brother's putting in the tie straps. Keep all these wires nice and tidy. Alright, see that flashing light on the controller? 1, 1, 1, 1. So it's one short, one long. Well, when you look at the directions, if that's what you think is the LED light, evidently it's not. That just flashes for whatever it flashes. At the end of the day, there's another hookup for a separate LED light. What I think is happening here. And that LED light is what you read your codes off of. So you've got to buy your own little LED light and hook it up to the 2 black wires, and you'll get your LED codes. So we have not done that. I haven't gone out and bought an LED light yet because we kind of feel like we can get it started. Anyway, we don't know what the codes, if any, are off the controller. So I'll be looking into that. And as you can see, the wiring is tidied up. We're ready to use the adjuster. Hot and cold. Running water's been wired in. Whole system's again being evacuated so we get a pure charge. And we'll go from there. But yeah, that's where I was confused, is with that flashing light on the controller versus the 2 black wires that say hook up a LED, or I was told hook up an LED to that. All right, more to come. We're getting ready to launch this puppy. So we're almost T-minus 10. Hang in there. Oh, those are the expansion joints right there? Or what do you call those things you're wrapping?
Expansion valve.
Okay, so we're putting the booger snot on the expansion valves back on there, which is that black stuff. What is it? It's supposed to keep the condensation down or something? And this will hopefully, yeah, it will keep it from dripping all up in here. So just taking the stuff that was on there before gets pretty old, so went ahead and got some strips of windows. What is this? Window caulk sealer automotive?
Strip caulk.
Yeah, strip caulk automotive. They're come in little strips, and just take those, and he's wrapping them, trying not to keep them stuck to his finger. So we're wrapping these to prevent the water, just as the manufacturer did back in the day. Only the stuff he had on there is booger snockered out. So, all right, so that's what that picture of earlier was, to show the wrap that brother's doing on there to make sure to seal that from water coming down into here, dripping off the bottom.
This ain't the one. It's gonna heat up some.
Oh, some batteries. So we're putting a battery charger conveniently right here. I mean, you could start your motor up and do it that way, but we just assumed charge the battery, and as the battery's charging up, we'll be able to run this AC. As you know, it's all electric, but I will have to use the blower in the car, and we will be turning on the fan motor to the condenser. So this is just to give us an extra charge, because we do know it's going to draw down 26 amps, and we want to just, hey, let's put a trickle charge on the battery or juice it up a little bit, and it'll be good to go. Pretty cool. And ready to put the Freon in, as you can see. Looking at the hoses doing the charge. See how convenient those charge ports are, or the input ports right there. You connect right up there, boom, you're charging. Connect right up there, you're charging your battery. So, pretty cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, Tony Two Shoes. We're back with the AC electric install on the Ferrari 328. We had a little bit of a hiccup, and it's been resolved now. So I'll give you a quick, this is the, before we've cleaned it up, before my brothers cleaned it up, I should say. The wires are all hooked up. The problem we were having is there are two yellow wires that come off the main bundle right here. Well, those two yellow wires are supposed to connect to the two male ports under here on the bottom right here. You see it right there. And the instructions are going to be updated to reflect that, because unless that's hooked up, nothing works. So let's go through it. These two black wires are to an LED light for controls. These two are to the toggle switch for the off-on. These two yellow wires go to the compressor up under here. And then, of course, this whole other thing here goes to the compressor, 3 wires here. That is correctly hooked up. So when you throw the off-on switch, you gotta wait a while. And it says 60 seconds. It's more like a couple of minutes. So that's what was throwing us off. We would throw the switch, nothing would happen. We're thinking, oh, it ain't working. So you wait a minute or 2 or 3, all of a sudden the compressor kicks on and off you go. So we're doing the pressure charging. Not even 2 cans is what it seems to have taken, and we seem to be showing full. Also, as far as the amp draw, this thing was rated for 26 amps, and that's probably maximum full on everything. And I got it because I thought the 50 amp one would be too much for the car. The more my brother starts checking the amperage and so forth on here, the more we're thinking we could have done the next size up. It's the same exact casing for the compressor. It's just double the output in terms of BTUs, cold air. So we're still not sure yet, but we're working on it. And it may come down to recommending the next size up for the 6,000 BTU unit instead of the 3,000 one. It's blowing cold air. We're working on getting everything tidied up. Put the case back on. Put the wires all together. Make sure it's got as much Freon as it's supposed to have. And it'll be a done deal. I'll be back and show you the finish. Alright, here we are, almost 90% buttoned up. You see the controller, compressor. Had a little bit of work to do to get one little hose. We had to do a slight little notch in this piece of fiberglass, no biggie. Cuts the hose up in there. We'll tidy up all these other wires into a nice little tidy bundle, but for right now, to make sure all the kinks are out, I'm leaving it as you see it. And take it out, do some drive, and see how cold it gets. But it does work. So here it is. Your fully electric AC unit for a 1988 and a half 328 Ferrari. There it is. Looks like a Ferrari compressor with that sticker I put on there, don't it? All the wires nice and tidy. Plenty of room in there to do this, and the AC was blowing really cold. So, all right, that's kind of it on the instructions. I'll make sure everybody knows everything's perfect on the instructions except for the 2 yellow wires that are supposed to connect to the bottom over here. Make sure and do that, and it'll fire up about 3 minutes after you turn it on. It'll kick in.